continuing with the second part, where we have to see the turning point in the life of Khushwant Singh, right? When Khushwant Singh reached the city with his grandmother, it was the turning point in his life, because now the scenery had changed, right? The scenario was totally different. They were in the city, and Khushwant Singh was admitted to an English school where he used to go by a motor bus. That means the school bus. So instead of grandmother accompanying him to the school, it was the school bus which was taking him to the school. So grandmother did not have to go along with him. The education was also different. Whenever his grandmother used to ask him about the education, he used to tell about the English words, because he used to study in the English school. She did not know English, she only knew Punjabi, and that is why it was difficult for her to understand. He used to tell about the Western science and learnings, about the law of gravity, the Archimedes principle, the world being round, and all those things, which were very strange for his grandmother. Now she became very, very unhappy. Although she used to get Khushwant Singh ready for the school, but she could not help him with the studies, right? She could not understand what was being taught in the school. It was a totally different kind of education. So she was unhappy with it. She was also unhappy because they did not teach anything about God, right? So she thought that God and scriptures should be a part of education. But here in the English school, they were not taught anything about God and scriptures, and that is why she was unhappy. And then one day, when Khushwant Singh told his grandmother that they are going to be taught music in the school, she could not believe it, because in those times music was considered to be the position of the beggars and the harlots, right? They used to sing. The beggars used to roam on the streets and beg for money, whereas the harlots used to sing and allure the men. So she thought that singing is meant only for the harlots and the beggars. It is not meant for the gentle folk. Although she did not say anything, she did not protest about it, but her silence meant disapproval, right? She did not approve of teaching music to her grandson, right? She rarely talked to Khushwant Singh after this about the education. Then he went to university, right? When he went to university, he was given his own room. Okay. So one stage passed when Khushwant Singh went to English school. The second stage passed when the communication between grandmother and grandson became less because of the education, right? And the third stage came when he went to university and he was given his own room. Now here he says that the common link of friendship was snapped. It was broken. The common link was that both of them stayed in the same room, right? And when they stayed in the same room, they shared at least a rapport. They shared the same room, and they looked at each other, watched each other, talked a bit. But here he was given a separate room, and he says that his grandmother accepted this seclusion with resignation. She did not protest. She accepted the seclusions. She stayed. Seclusion means staying all alone, secluded. Okay, so she stayed all alone and she accepted. When she accepted it, she started spinning the wheel, right? The spinning wheel is the thread is made out of cotton from the spinning wheel. You must have seen Gandhiji doing it, the charkha, right? The spinning wheel is charkha. So she also used to make the threads, and whole day she used to sit by the spinning wheel reciting the prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while, and that was not sleeping, that was feeding the sparrows, right? Now this half an hour was the best time of her day. She enjoyed feeding these sparrows. I have told you earlier she fed the street dogs in the village, but here she had resorted to feeding the sparrows. And when she fed the sparrows, she felt all the happiness. There was a bedlam of chirrupings, right? A veritable, that means a very large noise, a very huge noise of chirruping of the birds, because there were hundreds of little birds which had flocked around grandmother to eat the bread that she had given it to them. The birds used to sit on her body, right? Even on her head. But she did not say anything, right? But this was the happiest half hour of her day. She enjoyed this half an hour. Okay, so there are 3 phases in her life. The first phase when he goes to school in the village. The second is when he goes to the English school. And the third when he is given a different room when he had joined the university. Now another phase comes when he decided to go abroad for further studies, right? He had studied law from Britain, so he decided to go. Now he was very sure that his grandmother would be upset, because he would be going for 5 long years, and at her age no one could ever tell. That means whether she would be alive when he returns or she won't be. Okay, so he thought that it would be very difficult for grandmother to accept the going of her grandson, because she might not be able to see him again, right? So he thought that she would not accept it. But contrary to this, she did not say anything. She was not even sentimental. She even went to the railway station to drop him, right? She did not say a single word. Even then, she was just saying the prayers. Okay, so she was telling the beads of the rosary, and she silently kissed the forehead of her grandson. And Khushwant Singh thinks that this is going to be the last physical contact between he and his grandmother, the last kiss on the forehead of her grandson, right? So he thought that after 5 years, when he is going to return, he is not going to see his grandmother. She may die. No one can ever tell, means no one can say whether she would be alive or not. So he thought that he would not be able to see his grandmother when he returns from abroad. But that was not so. Okay, when he came after 5 years, she was there to receive Khushwant Singh at the railway station. She had reached there, but she did not look even a day older. She was as she had been 20 years ago. Okay, and the same thing, she did not speak even a single word, and she was busy telling the beads of the rosary, saying her prayers. Okay, on the first day when he reached home, he saw his grandmother feeding the sparrows, and she was happy again for that particular half an hour feeding the sparrows. Okay, and now that half an hour had elongated, it had stretched, it had been to about 1 hour, right? About 1 hour feeding the sparrows, because she enjoyed that. Now in the evening, in the afternoon she fed the sparrows, and in the evening a total change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the ladies who were residing in the neighborhood and got an old drum, dholak, right? And she started singing and beating the drum. The sagging skins of the dilapidated drum, that is the drum which was in bad condition, right? It was old, so the skins were also loose. She started beating that drum and she sang the songs of the homecoming of the warriors, right? In Punjabi there are many folk songs where the kings had gone on war, and when they returned, after winning the wars, the ladies used to sing the song of the warriors coming home victorious. So she also started singing the songs of the warriors, because she thought that her grandson has returned from abroad and he has also won a great war, right? She might have thought that, but her singing of the song actually signifies her happiness on seeing her grandson. So all the ladies who had assembled, they all sang the song, and everyone asked her to stop so that she would not overstrain herself. She would be tired, and that is why she should not overstrain herself. Okay, so Khushwant Singh says that on that particular evening, it was the first time that his grandmother had not prayed, right? In all those years she had prayed regularly and she had spoken hardly few words, but on that day she had sang a lot and she had not prayed. Okay, so she did not stop singing, but the next morning she was taken ill. Okay, she had mild fever and the doctor said that everything would be fine, it's just a fever. Okay, she would be fine in few days. As she had overstrained herself, she is having a fever. The doctor had gone, but the grandmother knew that her end is near, right? She said that as she has only few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life. Close of the last chapter of her life, that means she was about to die. Her life was about to end. She was not going to waste any time talking to us, and she started praying, right? Everyone protested, but she was in the bed lying and saying her beads. And before anyone could even think what is wrong with her, the beads of the rosary fell from her hands, right? The rosary that she was holding, the rosary fell from her hands, and everyone knew that she was no more. Okay, there was a peaceful pallor on her face, a quite a calm expression on her face. Okay, so everyone assembled there, and it's a ritual. You must have seen when someone dies, you don't let that person be on the bed. You make that person put on the ground, right? So it was customary. So everyone lifted her off the bed and laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. Shroud is the cloth that is used to cover the dead body. That is a shroud. Okay. She was covered with the shroud, and after a few hours of mourning, everyone left for the arrangements for the funeral of the grandmother. When in the evening they went to her room with a crude stretcher. Crude stretcher is the stretcher made up of the bamboo where the dead one is put on to be cremated. That is the crude stretcher. So on the crude stretcher she was to be laid, and the scene was very mesmerizing. The sun was setting and it had lit the room. Okay, and there was a golden light coming in the room, as if the sun is paying respect to the grandmother. Okay, the nature is mourning, showing the grief at the demise of the grandmother. And in the courtyard, in the veranda, there were thousands of sparrows. Right? They were quiet. I've told you what used to happen when grandmother used to feed the sparrows. There was a bedlam of chirruping, right? Inevitable bedlam. A lot of noise by the sparrows when they used to eat the bread given by the grandmother. But on that particular day, there were thousands of sparrows who were all quiet, as if they had known that grandmother was no more. The one who used to feed them was no more. They were grieving the death of grandmother. So the nature, the animals, all were grieving the death of grandmother. Now when the mother of Khushwant Singh saw this, she broke the bread and gave it to the sparrows, as grandmother used to do. But they did not touch the bread given by Khushwant Singh's mother. Right? The next morning, the sweeper took out the breadcrumbs. They were laid as it was by the mother, given by the mother. They were not touched by the sparrows. So the nature as well as the animals, the birds, they mourned the death of the grandmother. Right? So this is the relationship between the grandmother and Khushwant Singh. So here we have to pay attention to the relationship and the changing relationship, the turning point, the three phases in the life of Khushwant Singh with his grandmother. Right? There are certain points, important points, which you must know. See this and note it down by pausing the video. Important points of the chapter. First, looks of grandmother. How did grandmother look? She had wrinkles all over her face, right? She was very old, she was short, she was fat and slightly bent. She used to keep one hand on her waist to balance, right? She used to wear white dress, her hair was white, and she looked as if she was a serene beauty, right? The habits of grandmother. Habits of grandmother, she used to say the beads of the rosary. She used to sing song the prayers, okay, and she used to feed the dogs in the village, and then later she used to feed the sparrows in the city. Third is turning point in the life of Khushwant Singh. It was when he had reached the city. It was the turning point because the situation had changed. He had to study in the English school, go to the school by the motor bus. He had very few conversations with his grandmother, right? So it brought about a total change in the life of Khushwant Singh and his grandmother. Things disliked by the grandmother. She disliked the Western teachings, Western education. She disliked the not teaching of God and scriptures in the schools. She disliked the teaching of music in the school. Although she never protested, but her silence said it all. Next is behavior of the grandmother on the arrival of Khushwant Singh. When Khushwant Singh had arrived on that evening, she did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood and she started beating the drums and singing the songs of the warriors' homecoming. Right? It was a total change in her behavior, regular behavior. The last moments of the grandmother's life. When she fell ill, the doctor said that it was just a fever and it would go. But she knew that it was the closing time of her last chapter of her life. She knew that she was about to die. And she stopped to talk to anyone, right? And she started saying prayers, the beads of the rosary, and she devoted her time in the prayer of the God. Mourning of the grandmother's death by the sparrows. Usually the best time in her life was the half hour that she spent on feeding the sparrows. She used to break the breads and give it to the sparrows, and the sparrows used to make a loud noise and they would sit on the body of grandmother. She would not even shoo them away, right? It would always be false rebuke, the false scolding by the grandmother. She used to love it. But when grandmother died, the sparrows, thousands of sparrows came in the veranda and they were all quiet. Right? Contrast to what they used to do. They used to shout a lot, but on that day they were all quiet and they did not even touch the bread which was given by the author's mother. This was mourning. This was the showing of the grief on the death of the grandmother. Right? So write all these things in your copy and we'll discuss everything on WhatsApp. Thank you.